All right, the Kansas City Chiefs, they wrapped up the NFL draft with probably the move that won the draft. There was a lot of teams that had a really good first round, but we followed it to the bitter end here. The Kansas City Chiefs, they select Josh Simmons, left tackle, offensive tackle out of Ohio State University. They slid back from 31 to 32, picking up pick 163, I believe. We can fact check me on that. Great move by Kansas City. We were really following this the entire second half of the first round, saying Simmons is their guy. Simmons is their guy. Will he fall to him? How will this shake out? Will they have to trade up for him? What will happen? It worked out perfectly. The Chiefs got the position they needed to address more than any other. They got the perfect fit based on what they needed, and they even got some extra draft capital in return by trading from 31 to 32. Great job by the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's get into Simmons' profile real quick. This is courtesy of NFL.com. You can see on the screen there Josh Simmons, offensive tackle from Ohio State, 6'5, 317 pounds, 33-inch arms, 10-inch hands, checks every single box you want there. Production score 76, athleticism score 77, total score 78. Really good across the board there. No clear weaknesses. Let's go and talk about his bio, his profile. At San Diego State, he redshirted his first year, played 13 games. By the end of his career, he had started his 13 games at left tackle 2023. Missed the final 10 games due to an injury, but was honorable mention All Big Ten despite that. He was playing at an incredibly high level. This guy he can come in and be a book, like a star tackle for you, one of your bookends day one. He's one of these weird prospects that the only reason he fell to at this point in the draft was because honestly of the injury. He missed a lot of action the final 10 games of his season, didn't play a whole lot of Ohio State because he transferred from San Diego State. If he had gone to Ohio State day one, if he wasn't recovering from injury, this is a top 10 pick kind of guy. Kansas City got him at number 32. That's insane value. Most people had Simmons rated, if you look at big board wise, 20 to 25 range, strictly based on those two concerns, his athletic skill and his production, much higher than that. And again, the Chiefs got a guy who, when you factor in all the bad, was still valued in the early 20s. They got him at 32, picking up a fifth round pick in return based on that trade back. This is the steal of the first round. This is the steal of day one. Great job by the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, Miles, I'm going to throw it over to you now, get your thoughts. But first, Chiefs fans, Chiefs Kingdom, in the comment section below, how do you
The
feel
the
about this?
Chiefs
I mean,
in
this
the
is phenomenal
offseason
work by
made a
Veach and the
surprise.
Chiefs, playing it slow, playing cool, getting the guy they need at a position they need. I think this is the best pick out of anyone in this first round. But give us your thoughts, though. Maybe you agree, disagree. Want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. But Miles, over to you now. Give us your rapid reaction, your thoughts about the Kansas City Chiefs and their first round pick here.
Yeah, and I think this is a great pickup for the Chiefs. It's the guy they wanted. This is the guy they need to help. They lost Super Bowl, I would say, because of the offensive line. That straight up, defensive line from the Eagles better than their offensive line. Really kind of shut them down. They need to improve offensive line wise. They go out, they get the guy that they need to get in Josh Simmons. Like you said, this guy was playing at an incredibly high level before he got hurt. Really solid player. So I think the only reason you get a guy who's probably more like a top 10 type of pick if he doesn't get hurt, and you get him at number 32, and you traded back a little extra draft capital, not a whole lot, but still, at the end of the day, this is like a super win for the Chiefs. Like you said, they're winning the draft with this pick so far. Really great move by them. Then on top of that, they're set up so well. They're gonna make the playoffs regardless. They probably did. So Simmons, worst case scenario, if he's not ready week one, you don't have to start him right now. You can wait, like let him develop, let him get 100%, put him out there. This is a really good pick overall for the Chiefs. I think they've got themselves a guy here. I think they've really set themselves up. They got a guy going to play for them for the next 10 years here. Going to be a really solid tackle. So I just think overall, this was a great pickup for the Chiefs. This is why they keep winning. This is why they will continue to keep winning. And these are the kind of moves that go out and win you another Super Bowl. And unfortunately, they didn't win the big game, but they did pick 32nd 3 years in a row here. This is the kind of move. Help them maybe pick 32nd again 4 years in a row next year. I really love this one out of Kansas City.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You bring in Jalen Moore, and a lot of people are like, well, not a lot of experience. He's a backup to Trent Williams, right? Jawan Taylor's at right tackle, despite the penalty issues and the silliness with that. And he's solid, but, could always look to get better. And they went out and did it. And I think that's one of the things that really impresses me about the Kansas City Chiefs organization. They're one of the few franchises where everyone knows what they're doing. It's the old adage, it's one thing to know what the opposition is doing. It's another thing to stop it. Usually that happens, in between the hashes when the game actually starts, right? Can you stop a good team from executing? The Chiefs are very hard to stop. But here, the Chiefs, once again, everyone knows what they needed to do, and they went out, played it cool, and they got it done. I have no earthly idea on God's green earth why the Philadelphia Eagles gave the Chiefs pick number 164, I just confirmed, to move up one spot. I don't think anyone in the right mind was thinking Kansas City Chiefs wasn't taking Simmons. Everyone was saying, like, yeah, Simmons is the guy. Now, I understand maybe some people thought maybe Jihad Campbell, but I think to a man, everyone could have said, the Chiefs at this point, they're taking Simmons or they ain't taking anybody, right? They're just going to throw away their pick and not take anybody. I think it was that obvious and that clear. That's who the Chiefs were wanting. That's who they were going after. It looks like they're going to get him at 31. And for whatever reason, the Philadelphia Eagles said, we're worried here. And they swapped the pick. So the Chiefs got extra draft capital. I don't understand how that happens. Again, Philly beat Kansas City in the Super Bowl, so credit where credit is due. But the reality is this is just a masterclass performance by Brett Veach, by the Kansas City Chiefs front office. Again, it's very rare that a team this good has a clear position of need they must address in the first round or very early in the draft. Everyone knows it, and then they go out and get it done while getting extra draft capital. That is extremely rare, folks. And on top of getting it done, they got a steal. They got value. Those are the three things you never see. Usually a team in this situation, right, they have to, kind of reach, right? They have a position of need. They have to, at 32, they have to get a guy who's ranked number 50. They have to reach, or they certainly don't get extra draft capital. The Chiefs got value. They didn't have to reach. They got the draft capital, and they addressed the position of need. Phenomenal work here by Kansas City.
Yeah, Nick, and I think some other things to look at as far as what Simmons brings to the table. Great pass blocker, 82.2 true pass blocking grade here. Great grade there. The guy, he only let up one sack in the last 2 years. I think he's doing a lot of really great stuff as far as what he brings to the table for this Kansas City team. Decent run blocker. Just overall, this couldn't have gone any better for the Chiefs. We've said it time and time again here. This was a great move for the Chiefs. The Chiefs got a little extra bargaining power at the end of the draft, maybe some little extra, flyers they could get on someone. Do they want to bring in another draft pick just to move back because Philly gets a little bit of cold feet? They're getting a little bit nervous. Someone's going to jump up. Maybe the Chiefs even, said, hey, calls Philly and says, hey, we're getting a lot of calls. Someone wants to jump up to, 31. What are you thinking? They trade back to 32. So there's a lot of really great things happening in this draft, but if you take a step back, if you look at it for the overall health of a program, I think this was by far my favorite move of the draft, the best move in the draft, going to the Chiefs here. Josh Simmons, great tackle, going to be a really, really bright future with this offensive lineman.
And just one final point to end on and kind of mention at the beginning there, he has experience starting at both left and right tackle. So you have a chance here to get some positional flexibility too, which is obviously very important. So then say Moore comes out and he's a superstar and you're worried about the right tackle position with Taylor. You've got a guy here who can play right tackle. Or let's say Moore's not ready. You want to maybe move Taylor to left tackle, or maybe you want to see if Simmons can slide in at left tackle right away day one. You have a lot of positional flexibility here. Again, a perfect pick. High value move, steal of the first round. I think it's clear at this point the Chiefs find a way to get it done. Great way to finish off day one of the NFL draft.